Teresa here, cooking with Linda Woolven, with her new book, The All-New Vegetarian Passport, and we are now going to do a soup. So what kind of soup are we going to do?
We're making a lentil date soup, and I've got the stove going high here, so I'm just going to take about a tablespoon, and this is non-hydrogenated margarine. And this is important. You don't want to use hydrogenation. I talk about this in the book because hydrogenation is linked to, of course, every major illness.
Is that a trans fat, the hydrogen?
That's right.
Oh, we don't want trans fats.
Absolutely. So this is just some chopped white onion, and I've chopped it, you know, kind of coarsely, but do what you want. And I'm just going to put that in and cook it down.
Looks nice.
And the thing about cooking an onion is you really need to cook it, you know, until it's really soft, because if you don't, again, it has that sharp sort of taste.
Lentil date soup. I have never heard of dates in soup. That sounds, and I love both lentils and dates. And actually, I love that we're using the red lentils because those cook so quickly.
They cook very quickly.
So, is this a traditional combination, lentil and dates, or is this something you had when you were?
When I was making it up, it's both. If you go to that region in the world, from the Middle East to the African region, you get a lot of fruit showing up in the cooking, and it just has a sweetness. It's pretty authentic because they grow a lot of the fruits there as well.
And you've been to Egypt, right?
I've been to Egypt, and I can tell you I had some wonderful food in Egypt. It was a vegetarian's paradise. There's so much amazing food, so it was great.
That's fantastic.
So I'm just going to drop this in.
I worry about when I'm traveling. I think, you know, can you get vegetarian food all the time? You can't always. But you found it very easy, did you?
It depends where. Certain countries, like I've been traveling for 25, 26 years to different places. I've been a lot of places, and basically some places are harder than others. You have to do your research in advance, and you may not necessarily have an easy time in a few countries, but pretty much everywhere has some stuff. In some countries, like Egypt or Turkey, or they have a huge vegetarian tradition, the Caribbean.
It's maybe the basis of the cooking in a way, more than the meat is the basis of the cooking.
Certainly when I was in Thailand and Cambodia, tons and tons of vegetarian food. It's a huge tradition there. And if you were to go to India, same thing. It depends where you are. You know, the British Isles, a little bit less, but they always have the potato, kale, stuff like that.
Potato and cheese. So, and what have you just put in there?
I put in 4 chopped cloves of garlic.
Delicious.
And it's just getting nicely married with the olive oil.
Do you brown it?
No. Just, again, you want it just sort of softened, because I'm going to put everything else in here now. And I'm going to put my 1.5 cups of the dried red lentils. And I love the color of the red lentils. It's so vibrant. They really
I just love the ease of them. I mean, they're just so much faster to cook with.
Whoops. Lentils are going flying. So
why not?
Good. And then you want approximately 6 cups of stock. I would do a homemade stock, but if you want to, you can use a box stock, and I'd recommend organic, low sodium, that kind of thing. Or a cubed one. Look out for salt, look out for monosodium glutamate. You want to avoid those things, glutamate. And this...
So, the stock if you have time to make it, and if you have some leftover vegetables in your fridge, and if not, boxed organic is
fine. And I usually have quite a lot of vegetables around. Like you can freeze stock too, right? You can make it and go. It's very easy. And just move it around, and this will cook down once I put my dates in. And these are the dates we talked about.
And how finely did you chop the dates?
Not very. Because you can puree it or leave it as it is at the end. So it's up to you.
What do you prefer?
You know what? It doesn't matter to me. I've done it both ways. If it's puree, it's smooth, but I kind of like little bits of chunks in it too. There's not a lot of chunks. It's very soft. The lentils almost become pureed when you cook them. It's not a big deal. And the dates kind of disappear. I mean, you're going to see them, but they add a really nice sweetness without being overpowering, because I'm not a huge fan of very, very sweet. They're very light. And I'm just going to add some cumin, and it's about ½ a teaspoon, so I'm just going to dump it in. I can pretty much look around. Some people like more, some people like less. And just move it around. And I always taste things before I actually serve them, decide if I want it less or more, because I like a lot of spice. So I've toned it down for people that don't.
You could put hot sauce in there, I guess, if you wanted to.
If you want it, traditionally you can serve anything you want on the table. You'll get little bits of olives, dates, little hot sauce, whatever you want on the table. They tend to do a lot of little things. And this has to cook for quite a while.
And how long is quite a while?
Like, you know, till the dates are done, 15, 20 minutes. So I didn't mean like hours. I just meant not in the next few minutes. I'm going to put the pepper in now, but I don't like to put the salt in too early when I'm doing lentils, because they don't necessarily fully cook when you do that.
Oh, I didn't realize.
So I've just let that cook down, and at the very end, just put a pinch of salt to taste, and that's done. You can blend it or not blend it, up to you.
Doesn't get easier than that, and healthier. Perfect. So we've got our lentil date soup. And this is the one I was dying to try with the dates.
Might need a little stir, but it's the lentil date soup.
Perfect. And I'll get just a little bit of date, a little bit of onion, something new. Oops. And I'm just going to make a mess everywhere, because that's how. That's what I do. Is I make a big mess. I love it.
Well, thank you. That's
That
great.
is delicious. That's delicious, and I like that it's got the chunks, but I know that that would be great blended as well.
Yeah, either way. It's my mood. What do I feel like doing that day? I'll blend it some days, I won't other days. Depends what I'm in the mood for.
Well, I've got kids, and if I get kids who see things and they're like, ew, there's things, then I just blend it.
I'm like that way with certain foods too, believe it or not. It's like, I don't want things in my thing. If I'm eating this, I want it smooth.
I like all the things. I like things and all the things. It's good. Okay, so the next thing we're going to look at are these. Can I bring these over? These look gorgeous. What are they?
These are poppin' balls, and these are all raw, but it's a dessert. Okay. So
great. It's a healthy dessert.
Very healthy dessert.
I'm very relieved to hear that I can still have dessert, because I'm definitely trying to go on that post-holiday purge, but
and it's all natural, raw, no cooked nuts, raw seeds and nuts, little coconut, little dried fruit, and blended. So this one here is cayenne and chocolate.
Okay, I love cayenne and chocolate. I tend to like roasted nuts. So if you can make something that's got the raw seeds in it that I like as well, then that's going to be awesome for me.
Great.
And dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate, mostly because it's so rich in antioxidants, and the cayenne, of course, is good for your heart. It tastes really good, and I like spicy chocolate, so it's quite nice.
As do I. That's fantastic. I'm going to make those for my kids. Okay.
And this is chocolate blueberry. So
chocolate blueberry.
Of course, blueberries are, huge right now with their antioxidant, the proanthocyanidins, which are so good for everything, but they taste really good. That's the main thing, right? The chocolate blueberry has a nice sort of flavor of both fruit.
The blueberries give it a moistness.
So does the apple juice.
A little softer. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are delicious and obviously really easy to make.
Easy.
Pop them in the blender, roll them up.
Boom, done.
Put them in the fridge and there you go.
You're done. Yeah, and you can make different shapes if you want. I just call them poppin' balls because you pop them in your mouth. They're easy. If you're talking about kids, you can stick fun things in it, make little ears or whatever, make a little creature out of it, then they might really like it. You never know.
That's great. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Well, I am going to love my all-new vegetarian passport. That's fantastic.